Welcome back to the Hot Take Sport Podcast, episode 30. Almost been a year, boys.
Almost. We're approaching.
Isaac and I were talking about it. 22 days since the first ever episode, boys.
22.
And
Okay.
we're about a month worth of episodes.
Yep.
It's true.
It's crazy. We're going to have to do a meme Hall of Fame soon.
Yes.
Shortly.
Second inaugural class.
Probably the next time we meet up.
Speaking of the Meme Hall of Fame, how about some BG?
Well, let me inform you guys about a particular football game.
Getting him started early, eh?
Yes.
So this huge school, one of the largest schools by enrollment in the country, schedules this small D1 school, in the MAC, and the MAC's not a good football conference, for their homecoming game, right? They were 31-point underdogs. Well, what if I told you that this small school beat this large institution on their homecoming day and completely just spoiled and shocked the football world, and I'm sure every bettor in Vegas probably hated them for it. But you know what? That's okay, because BG beat Minnesota! Yeah!
Okay.
It was such an ugly game to watch, I won't lie. It kind of hurt me. Our quarterback, Matt McDonald, he threw for like 250 yards and ran for 2 touchdowns. We won 14-10. We ended up forcing 2 interceptions. Yeah. I was happy we won. Campus was bumping after that happened, for sure.
Oh, I can imagine.
When I was walking around downtown that night, people were chanting "Truck Minnesota" through the streets, and it wasn't with trucks, so it was pretty fun.
I'm about to say, you guys got pretty lucky them getting their running back injured week 1.
Yep, because BG's run defense is terrible, as we saw today against Kent State. But
What was the final score of that game? I stopped watching after the first quarter.
20-27.
Yeah,
We made mistakes. If we're a young team, it's gonna happen.
All right.
I'm not worried about losing to Kent by a touchdown.
Alright, I'm going to throw it back to week 1. I don't know if we have talked about it on this
We
podcast.
definitely have. Because we talked about
Have
it
we?
already.
Okay. Well, then we'll move on. We'll move on to week 2, Ohio State, Oregon.
Do we have to?
I was going to say, I figured we would
Yeah,
just
no. Let's move on.
go. I mean,
I'd rather not.
Fair
however,
enough.
while we are talking about Oregon did lose today in
They
OT to
did.
Stanford.
Stanford beat them. They had it literally statistically. I think it was a 99.91% chance of winning with a minute 41 left, and Stanford came back and won.
Makes Ohio State look even worse coming the end of the season.
Yeah, it
Also,
does.
number 10 Florida lost to unranked Kentucky today.
I did see that.
Number 7 Cincinnati beat number 9 Notre Dame in South
Yeah.
Bend.
That's the one Ohio team I would love to see make the playoffs.
Cincinnati is the best team in Ohio right now.
After-
For sure.
After all those years
For sure.
of
Luke Fickle's done a great job down there.
Yes, he has.
after all those years, I don't really want to say the lower level teams of the upper ranks. But when you think of a team like UCF that always should have gotten in but never did, I feel like Cincinnati could be one of those teams this year.
Yeah, but Cincinnati's strength of schedule is much higher than UCF.
Yeah.
They're playing top 10 programs like
Oh,
Notre
yeah.
Dame. Notre Dame was 9.
Yeah.
I
I think they have a couple more.
And they
I will
looked
look.
awesome.
Oh,
They
yeah.
look good. They looked good last year. At that
Desmond Ritter's going to
season.
be good.
They definitely didn't get lucky today. They won that.
They
football game.
won today.
Mhm.
Notre Dame had to play. Notre Dame didn't play like crap either.
No.
They weren't making stupid turnovers or anything. Cincinnati just played good. At the end of the day, they just played good.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, guys. Clemson actually won a game.
That's true. They ended up.
That's true.
Number 25
25.
Clemson beat Boston College today in 1913.
1913 is
Clemson's just
Oh, how
bad
the
this
mighty
year.
have fallen.
Yeah.
Clemson was 25, LSU's unranked,
Ohio State's 11.
Mm-hmm.
and Ohio State thrashed Rutgers again today.
I think-
You know this season's nuts when Wake Forest is ranked. Come on!
There's some crazy ranking.
It's true.
Georgia. They had a guy that was blocking 3 people on one play.
I saw that.
What a beast.
Georgia's number 2.
Georgia's the team to beat this year, I would say.
Georgia and
Really?
Alabama.
Well, Bama's just
Georgia
been
will
given,
beat
I guess.
Alabama.
Alabama's always there, but Georgia's defense is insane.
You say Georgia
Yeah.
Georgia shut out their last two opponents, and they played number 8 Arkansas today. They shut out a top 10 team.
They dominated Arkansas
37-0.
Arkansas is no pushover either.
No, they're number 8 for a reason. But I would argue that Cincinnati beating Notre Dame is much bigger in the world of college football than Georgia beating Arkansas for sure.
I will throw this about Cincy. They played Temple.
Okay, that's a conference game.
Yeah, they just have weak conference games left.
But I mean, that's what Clemson capitalized on for like ever.
Yeah, that is true. Clemson wrote a crappy ACC schedule, so it's the same principle. As long as they win out, there's no reason.
If Cincy wins out and doesn't get in, there should be a riot.
People should be like flipping cars in the streets in Cincinnati and stuff.
They're doing that already, anyways.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's true. They don't even need football to incentivize that. But yeah.
I think Ohio would start out in a riot if they didn't make it.
I think Ohio will start out in a riot and a lot of things that we'll discuss in this podcast.
No, because more people want to see Ohio State in, so if Ohio State sucks the rest of the year and doesn't get in, and then Cincinnati doesn't get in, Ohio State can still be like, oh, well, we've won a national championship, so we're still the best team in Ohio, and everybody will be like, yeah, okay, you keep telling yourself that.
I hope they get matched up in a bowl game, just because that would be so fun.
That would be insane.
That'd be so much fun.
Desmond Ritter and C.J. Stroud for the Battle of Ohio.
That's a whole new breed of the Hell is Real Derby.
Yeah. That's like crazy national media stuff.
Taking it to the gridiron for the Hell is Real Derby.
Oh my god.
They would never say that.
That would be a crazy football game.
It would be.
Yeah, that's for sure. Iowa's number 5. I didn't realize that. Penn State and Iowa are 4 and 5. Now, how far do you think Oregon drops?
Not far.
They
beat Ohio State. They're not going to drop very far. In my opinion.
Stanford is supposed to be one of the better teams in their conference.
I mean, Stanford's unranked.
But the Pac-12 is a fairly weak conference.
Does that mean a whole lot, though?
It could in the future. I doubt it.
I don't know. But I definitely think Penn State and Iowa are gonna round out the top 4, which is crazy to think about. Because when was the last time Iowa and Penn State were both in the top 4?
Super good.
In Michigan's
number 14. They beat Wisconsin today.
Big Ten's good as usual.
Yeah,
they're all gonna hurt each other. I mean, as per usual.
Yep, it's gonna happen.
Maybe one of them will make it in, but it just depends on where all the chips fall. Because it only takes one loss to kick you out, especially if you lose your conference tournament. I mean,
if you don't win your conference, unless you show up and play an insane game. Like, for example, if Georgia and Bama meet in the SEC championship, then the losers still will probably make the 4th spot.
Most likely.
I was going to say, you can play in the SEC and not win, and you'll probably still be.
In the ACC or SEC?
The SEC. I thought I said SEC.
No, you said ACC.
Yeah. Well,
you're good.
Even the ACC winner probably won't make it.
Well, yeah. Well, you could be the 3rd best team in the SEC, and you still have an outside shot.
Yeah, you'd still have an outside shot.
Because
outside.
A very outside.
I was gonna say it's a very low shot.
That still makes you a 2-loss team if you're 3rd seed there.
We've never seen a 2-loss team in the college football playoffs.
You don't even really see a whole lot of 1-loss teams.
Are you sure about that?
I'm 100% positive about that. Google it.
I will Google it because I think you're talking out of your butt and just hoping you're right.
No, I'm right.
I mean, if he's not right, he's got to be close. There could only be 1 or 2.
There could be 1. I don't even
think
there'd be 2.
1.
I was gonna say I think it might be right here.
If it's Alabama,
it's possible.
Like I said, heaven forbid Isaac be right for once on something out of memory. Well, Pocket.
There's been 1-loss teams, but there's never been a 2.
Of course, there will never be 4 unbeatens. I can honestly say that unless somebody dominates the Big Ten, that won't happen.
Speaking of the college football playoffs, it should be expanded. Let's be honest.
You think?
To at least 6.
I mean, they've talked about 12, but I think it should just be
12 is too much. It should be 6 or 8.
When you think about it, I think they made it 12 so that the top 4 still have an advantage on a bye week. Because it would just flow in.
Okay, that is true.
I think that's why they want 12. I think they should just do 8. I can see where you're coming from in the 12's too much thing. Just go with 8. It makes it so much easier. But they want money.
Well,
if
it's
they
all
want
in
money,
advertising.
spend college football playoff. That's more TV money. That's more tickets sold.
I was going to bring up something actually about expanded playoffs in episode 29, but I completely forgot about it. Expanded playoffs, to me, we've seen it in MLB with COVID last year.
We saw it in the NFL.
We've seen it in the NFL, which I think should be 8 instead of 7. What even? Anyway. And,
who knows?
Well, we even seen it in the NBA with the play-in.
Yeah, the NBA expanded
NBA
too.
Everything is expanding playoff because they want more money.
And that's how you get more money.
More playoff games, more teams make it, more fan bases are going to get engaged. That's just basic economics right there. You're driving up the supply of playoff teams, so the demand for all the crap that goes with that is driving up.
And even if NCAA basketball went in a span, they could have 3-game series.
There's no reason that NCAA
I was going to
basketball
say,
should
if March
expand.
Madness ever went to 3-game series,
That would take forever for one.
It would,
that'd be
but
awful.
it would give you a lot more money.
I could see it for maybe the semifinals and finals, but probably
I could
not.
see maybe making the finals a 3-game series.
That would be nutty.
That would be fun.
March Madness would level up even more, and I didn't think that was possible.
Hey, big sports find new ways.
I think sports always finds a way to say something, don't they?
Yeah. For better or worse, yes.
Yep.
Matt, did you find the answer? To what you're looking
I'm
for?
still looking. It's a tedious process.
Fair enough.
Should we move on or should we wait?
You can move on.
I was going to say, I was just going to
Start talking about Ohio State specifically if you'd like.
Ohio State destroyed Rutgers today.
That's
C.J. Stroud looked absolutely good. Except for the fact that TreVeyon Henderson left with an injury.
right. That hurts, but
We really don't need him right now. We have Master Teague. Our running back is deep.
What Ohio State team have you been watching?
Our running back position
a team that
is
needs
deep.
to be passing more than running anyway.
Yeah.
But TreVeyon Henderson's one of the best running backs in college football.
Yes, but he's only a freshman, so let him heal. Our running backs are deep.
What do you mean so? He's got a lot of football ahead
He
of
has
him.
a lot of football ahead of him.
I understand.
So
that.
just let him rest for now.
Well, no, I understand the whole letting him rest thing. I wasn't saying you don't want to let him rest. I'm just saying you made it sound like Master Teague is this godsend when he's been a third-string running back all year.
Yeah, he's the third string, but he's a good third string.
I was going to say, I would argue he's a better third string than most D1 college football teams would have.
He's a better third.
I understand that.
Do you? Yes, Matt.
He is correct. The worst teams have been one-loss teams.
Dang, all right. Good job, Isaac.
Many times over.
But I'm saying, if we had that 1 or 2 running back, we don't fall off in the running back position.
Yeah. I was just saying.
We're not dipping as much as other D1. Like Minnesota, they're kind of
Like,
screwed.
Minnesota's screwed now.
Oh, yeah.
This running back's still going to go first round.
I don't know about first round, but he'll definitely be
He'll be a top 3 round pick for sure.
Say either round 3 or 4 would be.
My only question from today is, did C.J. Stroud secure his spot as the starting quarterback for you guys? Because I know a lot of people questioned him after week 1. And then McCord came out and didn't play bad in his game. He was solid.
He didn't look like
and
crap
then
for sure.
Stroud came out again this week and just destroyed Rutgers.
I was going to say,
dismantled them.
It's Rutgers, but, C.J. Stroud was my starter.
Day's not going to switch to quarterback right now. He's sticking C.J. Stroud throughout the whole season.
Before he did switch to quarterback.
Because Stroud had a shoulder
Stroud was
hurt.
But some people don't believe that.
There's a reason to not to. Plus, it's Akron.
He didn't.
Like, they weren't exactly playing.
I was gonna say,
they were playing a low-level MAC team.
I was going to say, if you're going to run
they weren't playing no Power 5 big school. No, they were playing a bottom-level MAC team.
Plus in training camp, Stroud did sit out.
Sometimes MAC teams get dangerous, Clayton. You have to remember this.
One MAC team did beat a Big Ten school, Bowling Green.
I've heard of that.
They got lucky.
31-point underdogs on their homecoming, 14-10.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Shut up, Isaac.
Says the one who brought it up.
I was gonna say, how many Big Ten teams has your school beaten, Isaac? Riddle me that. Riddle me.
Are we talking about Ohio State, Finley, or Owens?
We're talking about Rhodes, but
Rhodes?
that's where he goes to college.
They don't even have a team.
They're going through slow ones.
See, so was I until about 2 weeks before his classes, or 2 weeks before my classes started.
Yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
hey, Isaac, give us
So
our classes
quit
yet.
your yakking over there.
Well, we literally had a whole conversation about it. I was like, Isaac, don't you start classes? He goes, oh, I already started them. I go, I thought you said Owens didn't start till like the end of August. He goes, oh, no, I'm going to Rhodes now. I go,
yeah.
Since when?
Man, what a fake friend. Doesn't tell us anything.
I told you guys this.
You didn't say
No, you didn't.
Whatever. Back to the podcast.
I knew. But, yeah, they were playing a crappy MAC team. There's no reason to play him, I guess, if you really want to give the other guy a shot. But I think he secured his spot. Obviously, Rutgers is a step up from Akron, so he played well.
I could see the battle going on until next year. In training camp, maybe.
There's no reason it won't continue this year.
Yeah, they're both going to be sophomores. I mean,
Yeah.
they're going to battle until somebody goes to the NFL.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're from Ohio State, so somebody's going to go eventually. Or somebody's going to pull a Joe Burrow, they're going to go to another school, they're going to lead them, and then go to the NFL.
Pretty much. But, I see no reason why C.J. Stroud isn't the starting quarterback for Ohio State right now.
See, for me, I'm kind of glad that Ryan Day played McCord against Akron, because over the last few years, we haven't really had, a good general consensus about our backups. You have to think, when we won it all, and it was 2014, right?
2014.
That's what I thought.
With a third-string quarterback.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my point. That was the last time we had, good, set trio of quarterbacks.
What are you talking about?
Well, every other time we've had to play backup, it's been, a really bad game, hasn't it?
What do you mean? Dwayne Haskins came in and dominated Michigan that one time.
Yeah,
No,
when Barrett got hurt.
Yeah, every time we've brought in a backup, we've gone, who's this guy? And they've played well. So.
Yeah, so
I
be
guess
quiet.
As far as I've noticed.
I don't remember a crappy backup.
No.
I don't.
Most of them play one big game and then go to the NFL, though, so.
That's
Cardale Jones
very true.
literally stepped in, played in the Big Ten championship, first ever college football playoff, or second, I guess, college football playoff game. First ever year.
Beat
won the
Bama.
national beat Bama. Won the national championship. Why that dude didn't go to the draft, I'll never know. He was sitting on a gold mine.
He did go to the draft.
No,
Not
he
that
stayed
year.
for a year.
He stayed another year.
Yeah.
He stayed for a year.
He should have went because his draft stock was
He probably would have been a
second,
third
third
round
round.
pick. Yeah.
I think he was a 5th or 6th round pick by the Chargers, and then he went to eventually found his way to the XFL.
right.
Now I don't know where he is.
It's free agent.
I think JT Barrett's still in the practice squad somewhere though.
Last time I knew of JT Barrett, he was with the Saints.
I was gonna say last time I knew of he was on the Saints practice squad.
Yep.
Singular knee.
Yeah.
And Braxton Miller was at one point.
That's who got
receiver with
hurt.
the
That's who.
Texans.
Wasn't that it? When Dwayne Haskins came in, wasn't it JT Barrett who got hurt?
Yes. Against
It might have
Michigan.
been.
And then he got surgery on his knee and played the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I get so lost sometimes with Ohio State's quarterbacks. At least with Fields, like Fields and Stroud, you just know at this point.
Right.
I know we had Terrell Pryor before Braxton Miller because my mom always says we had the TP before the BM.
Dang.
I hate you.
That Braxton Miller is the first quarterback I remember watching Ohio State football.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That spin move. I mean, that's pretty much my first.
Oh, that was disgusting.
That's
oh my
like,
gosh.
That's like the first OSU football memory that I have drilled into my mind, other than when I went to the Illinois game.
Quick question.
That was so painful. We left at the middle of the third quarter. It was pouring down rain. They were up by 50.
Quick question for everyone. Do you think Braxton Miller
No.
would have been a starting quarterback in the NFL if his
No.
shoulder didn't give out?
No.
No. Braxton Miller was never going to be a quarterback in the NFL.
Nope. I agree.
He went in and was a wide receiver within the first year. He was never going to be a quarterback in the NFL.
Nope.
Well, he's a wide receiver before he even got to the draft.
Yeah,
pretty
he
much.
converted.
converted his
That was after
senior year.
JT Barrett took over.
Yeah, he got hurt and came back and was like, you know what? I guess I'll just play receiver. I got nothing better to do.
Spun the
We're
crap out of
we're
that.
winning games.
Virginia Tech, dude. That was awesome.
And he prolonged his career. That's what he had to do.
Yep. Except then he was with the Texans, and
No,
that was the beginning of the end.
now he's bouncing around when he came.
I don't even know if he's still in the league.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
he
is
is.
he even
I
bouncing
think
around
he's
anymore?
on a team. Someone look it up. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's on some team.
Braxton Miller.
Were you just saying that, or were you
No, he
voice
is.
searching it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I thought someone had him.
Oh no, I don't think he's in the league anymore.
I thought he was.
Most
could be
Ohio,
wrong,
most
though.
Ohio State quarterbacks don't last in the league all that long.
You know,
I was thinking about that the other day, and we've talked about it on here before too. Like, since we've been like watching football, like, oh yeah, he's not on a team. Last time he was on a team was the Panthers practice squad. Apparently, he was on the Browns practice squad at one point too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
and then we cut him like the week
Oh, he's
after.
coming home. Just kidding.
Ah, psych.
Or we traded him to the Eagles. It was one of the two.
Can you trade practice squad
I
players?
was literally just about to ask that.
I don't think you can trade practice squad
I
I think we
players.
caught him, but
I don't think you can get any value for him.
yeah,
I'll trade you Braxton Miller for this bucket of footballs here.
yeah, pretty much.
Some people might take that.
Facts.
You're not wrong. Oh goodness.
Well,
It's wild to think that the run of Miller, Barron, Jones was 7 years ago.
yep.
Makes you wonder where your childhood went.
Yep.
Yeah, seriously. One day we were watching the Buckeyes and cheering, not really knowing what was going on, and the next minute,
We're sitting here talking about it.
yeah.
Making a podcast.
Speaking of Ohio State quarterbacks, he's gone to the draft already. Ready? He plays for the Steelers. Do you want to bring up that situation?
Yes, I guess that is one way we could transition to NFL. Well, yes, Matt.
Never mind, you answered my question. I was going to ask why he had to make a transition like that when we were already talking about OSU quarterbacks, but you filled it out for me, so we're good.
I was gonna say we will make the transition to the NFL, and I believe I brought it up to you guys the other day at the football game. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, and can we please have a logical conversation before you just absolutely destroy the poor man? I mean, he's not even a poor man. Like, you can destroy him at the end, but just
I will try.
Stop. Let me talk. We need to have a rational conversation here for at least a few minutes.
About
Ben Roethlisberger.
Is Big Ben done? Every single completion he had, which I believe was like right around 30 against the Bengals, every single one was 5 yards or less. He can't even throw. They can't even throw the ball anymore.
I will start off. I'll be nice and civil for now.
You've been nice and civil since he came out the womb. What do you mean?
Big Ben against the Bengals had a pack injury and his elbow got crapped on.
Good save.
Mike Tomlin's a good coach, but when do you go and say to Big Ben, saying, you're on the bench, you need to retire?
I mean,
As a coach, when do you say that?
You can't.
You can't,
Yeah.
but he needs to.
But he can't. We just went over that.
I know, but he needs to.
I mean,
He
yeah.
needs to find a way to do it.
Mike Tomlin's a great coach. I can't remember where I heard this, but they were like, "Yeah, Mike Tomlin's a great coach, but if he was really that great of a coach, he wouldn't be playing Big Ben still." And I was like, you're not wrong.
He should either be playing Mason Rudolph's or I say Dwayne Haskins.
Okay, you're gonna have to. It's fine.
Dwayne Haskins is built like Big Ben, if you think about it.
Yes, he is a larger quarterback in the NFL. That is true.
And that can't move well, but has an arm, but has more mobility than Big Ben right now.
I mean, it doesn't take much to have more
I was
mobility.
gonna
Even Tom
say-
Brady might have more mobility right now than Big Ben.
He does have more mobility than Big Ben because he's led his team in rushing yards.
That's
I was gonna
true.
say,
He
can
is
at
top
least
3.
walk. Big Ben's basically a tree under center right now.
It's true. Big Ben
Stays like a tree.
should have
plants.
Big
much.
Ben should have retired after he lost to the Browns last year. He's all
Pulled a
he's-
Marquise Pouncey.
he's-
Yeah, but you gotta think. Like, if you're Big Ben sitting there, you're just like, do I really want to end my career like that?
Just
Well, he threw 3 picks. I want
I
to
think it was
say
4.
it was 3 or 4.
So what makes any of you think that the Steelers are trying to win this year?
Oh, I don't think they should.
I don't-
That's what.
Then why are you all talking like Big Ben should be this great quarterback? He's not there to be their quarterback. He's
Well, I
there
know.
just to teach the guys in practice.
Well-
He's just the guy they throw out there on Sunday nights to be the tackling dummy.
Yeah, I know. The original spawn of this question was going to be, should Dwayne Haskins be the one in the game right now?
No, the original spawn of this question was, should Big Ben be done and benched? No, you can't
Well, yeah,
bench Big
but
Ben
for
because
Dwayne
you don't want to throw the other. No, because you don't want to throw them into the fire yet because they're not ready. Big Ben is out there to be a tackling dummy, and he looks like one anyways. So why not just let him go?
He looks like
they're not
one
trying
anyways.
to win this
Dang.
year. They're going to take their draft pick, probably improve their offensive line,
Yeah,
and then ship him out, send him off to retirement.
they're gonna cut him.
they're gonna do what the Giants
that.
did to
He's just
Eli
gonna
Manning.
retire.
They're gonna do what the Giants did to Eli Manning. They're just gonna gradually diminish his playing time as they
Yeah, but
see
the Steelers
fit.
were intentional, but intelligent enough to get what they think should be his replacement. They've got multiple attempts at it, which we'll see how that works out, but they had Eli Manning and just kind of prayed. And all of a sudden Daniel Jones came in and they were like, you gotta start now.
It was like Eli Manning Jr.
Good luck.
Looks like Manning, coached by the same coaches as Manning.
Steelers-
I swear that's what they went for.
But yeah,
Eli Manning Jr.
your argument's completely invalid. Ben Roethlisberger's not out there to win football games. He's out there to just be the guy that they hand the ball back to and teach the other guys what to do. What? Monday through Saturday, teach them what to do,
So
and then on
teach them
Sunday,
to throw.
Sunday, teach them what not to do.
Yeah, I knew that's what you were gonna finish with there.
So teach
Watch the film, learn from Ben. Watch now Ben, watch old Ben. Find your play somewhere in between so you fit into the Steelers' play. Because, face it, Mike Tomlin's not going anywhere.
I mean, he should. Mike Tomlin is a really good kid.
He's one of the best coaches in NFL history, I would say.
I was gonna say
It's
he's
just
never
really
had a losing
unfortunate.
season.
Exactly.
He's consistently
That's
successful.
one thing Mike Tomlin can say that Bill Belichick cannot. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season.
He could this year though,
Yeah, I guess that's true. Mike
Yeah,
Tomlin
I mean,
could have.
if he keeps playing Big Ben.
I don't know. I mean, when their defense is healthy, they somehow find a way to stay in the game.
In what universe do you think Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins is going to improve that team?
I think Mason Rudolph can get you to a winning record.
Matt, you have to remember who you're talking to.
Did you just hear him?
Did you just hear him?
He just said that Mason Rudolph could lead the Steelers to a winning record.
No.
God, shut your mouth, Isaac. Oh my goodness. The amount of crap. Can somebody go through our episodes and find the amount of crapping on Mason Rudolph that he personally has done?
Well, if
And
you-
then compare it to right now. I'm so tired of you going back on your own crap. Oh, the Browns are the greatest team in the NFL. All the Browns are going to be amazing. I think they'll be lucky to finish third in the division this year.
I think they're going to be 15th in the rankings.
Yeah.
Actually, it
that'll-
was 16. It was 16.
Thank you.
Thank you, Clayton.
What? I had to correct you just to,
Just to fuel the fire, huh?
the
The
whole
gasoline on it.
situation.
Man, Steele's hot takes, goes back on his own takes. Who
There-
are you?
In my mind, in all seriousness, guys, right now there are 3 quarterbacks in the NFL that could maybe turn that team around. And they're all the same style of quarterback. Kyler Murray, maybe just because of how athletic he is.
Okay.
Russell Wilson, again, athletic, game manager, can move. And who was the other one?
Omar.
It was not Lamar, because I don't think he's a good enough passer for that team. Like, not me being like a biased Browns fan. I seriously don't think he's a good enough passer.
He's
That's
getting
fine.
at it.
I want to
I
hear.
can understand
Seriously don't.
I want to hear who your third is before I add to that list.
I think it was Matthew Stafford was who popped into my head just because of how good he's playing right now.
You don't think Tom Brady or
I
Aaron
think
Rodgers could save that team?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. That's who I was
gonna say.
thinking.
I don't know.
That's right.
I was gonna say I would put Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers.
Tom
I
Tom
wouldn't say
Brady's
Tom-
going to improve any team that he's on,
Yeah.
but I think he'd get hit too much.
Yeah, their offensive line is nowhere near the quality
Obviously,
of Tampa
but like
Bay.
obviously Patrick Mahomes can improve that team too.
I feel like an idiot. What? How did I not bring up Patrick Mahomes?
Because it
there?
was too obvious.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right.
Brady, it looks like you're having a brain.
You're having a
fog.
eureka
before you
moment.
go, I think Matthew Stafford's a product of his situation. He's gotten into a new environment. He's gotten into a big environment, and he's got the pieces
Yes.
on both sides of the ball
Right.
that he's reinvigorated to play football and be the good quarterback that he is.
If you
Well, can you
see
hold that
him
against him,
celebrate,
And I know you guys can all shoot me in the face for saying that Matthew Stafford's playing like a good quarterback.
Oh no, Matthew Stafford.
He
played
is.
if
really
you
He's
see
playing
Matthew
great.
Stafford's
I don't, but
face
I've always
after,
been very against Matthew Stafford as being a quarterback. But
Right.
he played for the Lions. And
if you see Matthew Stafford's face after every time he scores a touchdown, it's like
Oh yeah,
he's a rookie.
He's pumped.
He's so
He's happy.
happy.
He's
Yeah.
happy.
good for him. He's in the situation they should
He
be.
could win MVP. He's
That's legit.
sneaky
That's
for
legit.
MVP.
I don't even think it's sneaky. They just beat the returning champ. They throttled the returning champs.
I was gonna say
Like,
it
that
was
really
34
It wasn't that close of a game, no.
Oh, and they are the number one team to stop the Bucs. It's not the Chiefs.
Well, it's not even like that anymore. It's who's going to stop them.
Yeah,
yeah, that's also true.
that's
Yeah.
what everyone's
Yeah.
talking about now.
I'm not sure anybody will.
Who's going to stop Stafford in the air raid? Because they have the defense to fall back on
See
it.
the air raid, but not like 80% of it's Cooper Cup.
It's still air raid.
Wide receivers.
I was going to say,
I
point
don't-
being,
Who's
it works.
Who's running the ball for him?
Nobody.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. We'll talk about the Reno here in a minute, but so there's a book going on right now, it's in process about the whole Patriots dynasty thing, and there's a bunch of stuff coming out right now that Tom Brady called Wes Welker, who's the coach for the 49ers, and said, "Hey, I want to end my career in San Francisco." This was after the Niners lost in the Super Bowl. Wes Welker was like, "Okay, talk to Shanahan, see what he says." They were like, "No, you're not much of an upgrade over Jimmy G. We're just gonna pass." Could you imagine being the Niners right now, passing, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we just drafted Trey Lance. Well, we could have Tom Brady. Yeah, it's fine."
Brady.
They should play Trey Lance, if you ask me.
I mean, they should play Trey Lance.
But I get playing Jimmy G, I do. There's no reason to not let Trey Lance learn and develop right now.
But Jimmy G's
Just like
not
the
playing
Steelers.
bad right now.
Right. I get why they're saying it, but I don't know. I just want to see what he can do, I guess.
But
They have the pieces for him to be successful. A lot more so than the other rookie quarterbacks do.
I mean, the Bears were trying to do the same thing, but their offensive line is so bad that the guy in front of Justin Fields got hurt. So now he's in the
Right.
fire. And really in the fire because his first game was against the Browns.
I was going to say, Myles Garrett and company introduced themselves
Well,
to him
Garrett
very
had
well.
4.5 sacks.
He's now in the league lead for sacks because of that game.
And he
I was gonna
was.
say, he has like 9 through 4 weeks or something like that,
Yeah.
and 4.5 came in that game or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was this
I don't
close
think
to
that's
5.5.
I think it was less than. I think it was like 7.
He was like an inch short of 5.5.
and now Justin Fields is starting against the Lions.
Hot take, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is the steal of the draft.
That's not even a hot take anymore. I mean,
100%.
I mean-
he's first round talent out there that we got in the second round.
He's
That's
played-
lucky.
he's played well.
I mean, we kind of pinpointed it. I can't remember if it was Isaac and I or Clayton and I, but like we kind of pinpointed it. We were like, oh yeah, this dude fell out of the first round. He's a steal no matter where he goes.
Right.
I mean, they're the 2 first-round projected players that fell into the second round were Owusu-Koramoah, who was playing well, and I mean Christian Barmore fell to us. But I wish he would play like Owusu-Koramoah, but he's a D tackle, so that's probably not gonna happen.
Right.
But like I was watching tape on Owusu-Koramoah, he just appeared out of nowhere.
He
He's just
a
there.
beast.
Like
He
He's
follows
doing great.
the ball and hits them hard.
and that's
He's
that's
a
what a good
beast. He's playing
linebacker should
great football right now.
do. The Browns defense is playing good football right now.
The Browns are playing good football.
Well,
Yeah.
Everybody except the Scottish Hammer is playing good football right
Yeah,
now.
it's really unfortunate that Scottish Hammer are holding.
Yeah,
Think
that
about
one
it.
stinks.
Think about it.
I
Yeah.
won't lie.
Think about it. The Scottish Hammer is the only person that has stood between the Chiefs and being 0-3. Think about that for a minute.
and Nick
Yeah,
Chubb
that's
fumbling.
true.
The Chiefs
But it
should
started
be
with the
0-3.
botched
It
punt.
started
It
with the
started
botched
with the punt, though.
The botched
You're
punt
right.
was much more of a problem than Nick Chubb fumbling. That'll happen. Botched punts cannot happen in the NFL.
It should.
I said it. It's a punt. Like, call me an idiot, call me whatever. Botched punts should not happen in the NFL.
No.
Should not.
If you're a punter in the NFL, it's just like a wide receiver. You should catch the ball.
No, it's way more straightforward than a wide receiver catching the ball, in my opinion.
But if you're a wide
Like
receiver,
I said,
There's nothing else to worry about when you're the punter.
I was gonna
Call me
I think-
hypocritical, call me whatever, but I truly believe there's no reason there should be a botched
but if you're
botched
a wide
punt in the NFL.
receiver that's wide open
Isaac,
and it hits your hands, it's just the same thing as a punter.
Isaac, I watched Corey Coleman drop a wide open pass that would have kept you from going 0-16.
You're acting like Isaac and I didn't watch the exact same
Oh
thing.
no,
Guys,
I'm aware of that, but that's proving my point. That catching a wide open pass and punting,
Ready?
good, but are not on the same level.
Corey Coleman is not even in the league anymore.
Doesn't matter.
For a
He
reason.
still was a
For a
receiver.
reason.
there's a reason for that.
We pretty sure we cut him the next year.
There's a lot of Browns first round picks since the 2010s began. They're probably no longer in the league.
Speaking of old Browns players, Josh Gordon.
That's true. He's back.
It's just part of the annual NFL traditions now.
True.
Like, it's going to happen every year. I saw a thing yesterday. It was like Tom Brady making at least to the AFC or NFC championship game. It's a tradition. Josh Gordon getting reinstated now is a tradition.
Richard Sherman signing a new contract.
Tradition.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that too.
That's
I
been,
Oh,
forgot
that's
my
been at
about
least
that.
the last 3 years, right?
Yeah. My goodness, my one thing that I could always use in the NFL to keep the NFL above the NBA is, there's not a whole lot of recruiting and there's nowhere near the level of super teams. Yeah,
Tom
that's
Brady.
Brady.
Tom Brady literally
That is bull
called
crap
Richard
now.
Sherman and was like, "Hey, Richard, want to come play with me, corner?" He was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Exactly.
I
That destroyed my entire point on that.
Like he literally said it on his podcast. He was like, "Yeah, Tom Brady called me up. Was like, hey, want to come play?"
I saw a TikTok is like, you want to play here? No. You want to play here?
Yeah, I saw
no.
it too.
Then it's like Tom Brady.
Tom
You
Brady.
wanna-
Tom Brady opens the door.
He's like, you want to come play? Yeah.
He goes, "Yes, sir, that's me." He goes, "Hey, I'm not feeling football anymore." Tom Brady. "Hey, want to come play?" He's like,
Woo!
"Let's play football."
I've got the Buccaneers defense in fantasy. I'm chilling.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have no complaints.
No more talking out of you.
This dude said Mason Rudolph would lead the Steelers to a winning record, and that's who you
That was covered off mic beforehand, though, before you got here. We said that multiple times. You can talk again.
Cool.
You can
My
talk.
little chair's getting a little uncomfortable. Sorry, guys.
I also just want to bring up, like, before we move on, this is another tribute to how crappy the Lions organization is, because they've made two potential GOATs at two different positions retire, and now they trade away their franchise QB, and he's a star.
Yeah.
Making Barry Sanders walk away at the age of 30, making Calvin Johnson I think he might have been 32.
Well, Calvin Johnson had like 80 bajillion concussions. I think it was it was somewhere between like 7 and 9.
Well, a lack of team success also contributed to that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's a
yeah,
huge part of that.
obviously, but the
Lack
dude-
of,
the
lack of
dude-
help in the team contributed to him getting crushed so much.
I was going to say, they
That's
gave him
also
Matthew
true.
Stafford and were like, you got it, buddy. We believe in you.
And I think
Matthew Stafford went from Georgia to
An 0-16. He was their first pick, right? An
Yeah.
0-16 Lions team.
I do actually believe that was the following draft. Yeah.
speaking of Matthew Stafford, he goes to Calvin Johnson, and he goes over to LA. Star wide receivers over there. He's used to them. With Calvin.
Yeah,
He
except
has that
two.
experience.
Except
I was gonna say,
he
except
has
for he's
two
got-
But he
reliable
has
targets
two
instead
now.
of 1 or 0.
Yeah,
Yes,
but those two still don't compare to Calvin Johnson.
No.
Cooper
Calvin
Kupp's
Johnson.
an absolute dog, but Megatron's
I would
a different
argue that
breed.
Megatron is the best NFL football player I personally watched in my lifetime since I've been watching football.
I can't even tell you I remember watching him because I didn't care about the NFL. So
My family was Lions, and I have family in Michigan, and they're all Lions fans.
Oh, yeah,
so, like, at
naturally.
family gatherings,
Like I said.
we would watch the Lions and the Browns. So, like, I always watched him play growing up, and yeah.
And plus,
All due respect to Tom Brady,
Oh, yeah.
obviously.
even on
Well,
things,
Megatron was. You don't see Nobody. Who puts 2 corners on 1 wide receiver? Nobody. Nobody does that. I've seen that done for 1 person. Calvin Johnson.
Consistently.
Consistently for
like,
1 person.
And people would Thanksgiving, Lions.
That's true. The Lions play
Exactly.
Thanksgiving like every year. The Lions
That's
and
a
Packers,
tradition.
It's almost like, I feel like the Lions and Packers play almost every year, and the Cowboys always play somebody as the late game. Almost always.
The Eagles usually play on Thanksgiving too.
Yeah. It's usually
The Cowboys and the Lions always play.
yeah.
I-
Cowboys, Lions always play.
It feels like almost every NFC North team and the Cowboys play on Thanksgiving.
Don't the Bills usually play on Thanksgiving too?
The night game switches every
The
year.
Bills,
Yeah.
the
Last year they
Bills
didn't
play
have
everyone.
it.
The
The
Lions
play
are
everyone.
guaranteed in the
Right, Lions and the Cowboys are guaranteed to
Yeah.
play. So Calvin Johnson was always watched.
yeah.
Like, I'm sad to see him go, like I said, but I get it. I do.
You know what matchup I would love to watch? Like at an in-person game?
Sure.
Prime Megatron and Prime Darrell Revis.
Honest to God,
Megatron versus Revis Island. That would be.
I
That'd
can't.
be
Pick, I
insane.
cannot. I
I
cannot
mean-
bring myself to pick against Megatron.
Well, I mean, obviously you can't
I
bring
can't.
pick against
I can't.
Megatron, but that's something.
Darrell
I would love to
Revis was
watch.
built different,
Oh yeah, Darrell Revis was a tank.
but
Is Thanksgiving the 25th this year?
I'm not sure.
So whatever the 4th Thursday is, why?
It's Bears Lions at 12:30, Raiders Cowboys at 4:30, and Bills Saints at 8:20. So no Packers on Thanksgiving?
That's weird.
Blasphemy.
Well,
Interesting.
what's up?
Wait, did you say Bill Saints is the night game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Allen and Jameis Winston. What a game that ought to be.
Yeah.
We might as well talk about Can we move to 3-0?
Yes, we
Go for it.
can. All 5 of them.
Sam Darnold blew my expectations completely. Any hate that I've said to Sam Darnold on this podcast, I thoroughly apologize to you.
And,
Like, you're playing great so far, dude.
and like when we talk about Matthew Stafford, and that's where I'm at with Sam Darnold too, because it hasn't just been Sam Darnold. It's been like really bad with the Jets. Are the Jets and Lions the problem? Like, is it? It's not the players. Is it just like the way they ran? Is that the problem?
It's hard to argue against that. Like,
That's.
I mean,
yeah.
Adam Gase was never employed by the Lions, so I can't blame that on Adam
Right.
Gase.
I think the one difference between the Jets and the Lions, I think the Lions actually have a decent coach right now, and the Jets, who knows what they're doing with their
That's
organization.
true. I do really like the Lions head coach.
the Lions are not in a terrible spot right now.
They could have won 2 of their 3 games.
Well, that's classic Lions football, though.
It is.
That's another
But-
NFL tradition, is the
Justin
Lions
Tucker.
blowing games.
Yeah.
Shout out to Justin Tucker for finding a way to freaking beat the Lions from 66 yards out.
Off the freaking crossbar. I was at Frickers, and I was watching the game with a Lions fan, and he said, nope, we're going to lose this game. We left way too much time on the clock. There was like a minute 19 left, and he was like, I don't know why everybody's, like, so happy. Like, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Lions get defensive pieces, they're sneaky.
Defensive pieces. I think they need offensive pieces first there,
I was
bud.
going to say, outside of Penny Sewell, their offensive line ain't looking too
Offensive
hot.
line,
I think
wide
they need pieces
receiver.
in general.
Yeah, they don't have
Their
any wide
running
receivers
backs
either.
are fine.
DeAndre Swift's a good running back.
In the defense of your Sam Darnold slander, they've played the Jets, the Saints, and the Texans.
Right.
So
Well,
it's
he's-
not
he
like
still
they've
looks
had
good.
a real competition. Yeah, he's still thrown from 250 to 300 yards.
The Saints are their only legit team there.
The
And even
Saints.
then,
This-
Jameis Winston went 11 for 22 passes.
But
I mean, yeah,
say,
but the
the
Saints'
Saints
defense is
aren't
good
there
enough, though.
yet.
But
The Saints haven't identified.
the Panthers 3-0 is a lot more real than the inflated Broncos 3-0.
I was gonna say Panthers 3-0. Yeah, I agree.
Is
Definitely
it
more.
really that much better?
The Broncos played what? The Jets, the Giants, and
I was gonna say at least the 3 teams at least one of the 3 teams they played have won a game.
who was the other team the Broncos
Like-
played? I know they played the Jets and
played
Giants. I want to say the
The
Texans.
Giants? Where are you? The Jaguars.
Oh, the Jaguars. That was the other one. Jets, Giants, and Jaguars. That's who the Broncos have played.
It's hard to gauge how good they are because
I mean,
they haven't
Bridgewater.
played anybody. but
Bridgewater's looked good, but yeah, it's inflated.
Okay, but the where'd it go? The The Jets-Panthers game from week 1 was only 19-14.
Right. I'm not saying that it's like super. I'm not saying that the Panthers is like rock solid down to earth and the Broncos is like in the sky.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the Panthers are like their record just means a little more to me personally, I guess.
I think it's
I
gonna
think
be
the
interesting.
Panthers are on the right track, though. They have a good head coach. He's proven to get his teams into winning situations. They're up. They're heading up.
Well, yeah, they're in the right. I think one of those teams will be 4-0 after this week. The Broncos play the Ravens,
They'll probably lose.
and the Panthers play the Cowboys. One of those two teams will prove that theirs is at least semi-legit, and the other team will get destroyed, and everybody will be like, there they are.
I think it'll be the Broncos.
I was gonna say
I think
the Panthers are playing good football even
The
without
Panthers
CMC.
have a decent D.
I think
I
no
think the
CMC
Panthers
is going to
will.
kill Darnold, though.
Well, yeah, it's gonna kill any quarterback. It's gonna kill any team not having a playmaker like CMC.
Yeah,
And it's killing my
especially-
fantasy team, too.
especially
That's
being
besides the point.
dual threat.
Yeah, I'm
running.
sorry
I
about
mean-
your luck, Clayton.
I mean, I don't think I had ever said
Oh,
it.
Isaac, you don't have to be sorry for anyone in fantasy. Your
Bro,
team's
I
done.
was
Yeah,
gonna say,
your
you're the
team
only one.
sucks,
You're the
so we're good.
only winless person over
Just
there.
need.
Anyway,
I have a good
Um,
chance this week.
I
That's
don't.
what you said last week.
Well,
I
I
don't-
actually have
Against
running.
me? No, we didn't.
No, I don't.
Oh, did you two play? Oh, okay.
I was
I'm
gonna
about to
say.
say, I actually have running backs this
I
week.
was gonna say,
We went into Monday. I had the Eagles starting running back, and he had the Eagles backup running back, and I was up by 40.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Isaac has been on the bad end of blowout of the week 2 of the 3 times, and the only other person that has been blown out was also named Isaac.
Who I'm playing this week.
That's true.
Isaac
Isaac
is playing
starting
Isaac
bench?
this week.
Nice.
I don't even know
Anyway.
who I played. I forgot to check.
Anyway, what I was going to say is, I mean, I don't think I ever said it like on the podcast, so there probably isn't like recorded proof of me saying this. But I know at least talking to one of you, I said Sam Darnold could probably be a breakout player this year.
Yes, you did.
And part of it's because, yeah, he's not on the Jets anymore. But the Panthers brought in the guy that turned Joe Burrow into a number 1 overall pick in Joe Brady.
Right.
Can Matthew Stafford count as a breakout player?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no reason why he can't be.
I think
For
it
sure.
would be Stafford or Darnold. I didn't even think about Stafford at that point.
You know who else has been quietly flying under the radar that we haven't brought up yet? That we've also shat on this podcast before? Kirk Cousins.
That's true, Kirk Cousins.
He
Kirk
gets
Cousins
a
is
test this
balling.
week, though. He gets a test.
Who are they playing?
They play us. They
They
play
play
the
the
Browns.
Browns.
Oh, that's right.
Cousins
Yeah, because
gets
I benched
the,
KJ Austin. Yeah.
who? Let's look. The Vikings had. Who have they played? Do we know?
I know they lost to the Bengals.
Yeah.
That was their-
They beat the Seahawks. They beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's right.
Seahawks have a okay defense.
Seahawks are the saddest franchise in the NFL to me.
They
I
hurt.
don't know about that.
Because, no, to me, like as a personal thing,
Okay.
in my heart, I'm not saying they are the saddest as in they are horrible
Yeah.
and should just, I don't know, move to a different city and change their name.
Jacksonville.
I was going to say the Jets, but yeah. That's
Also works. Applicable. Continue.
I mean, like, they went from being, their whole thing was their fans were the 12th man, and they just locked up everyone on defense, and then Russell Wilson was MVP caliber for their offense. And they had a solid running back and at least 2 really good receivers. Now they still have their offense, but Russell Wilson is so focused on winning an MVP that he burns himself out through weeks 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett, I guess you can say he's on his way down. I don't even know at this point.
He's plateauing at
He's
least.
so yeah, exactly. He's so
I said
weird
he
to
looks
figure
like a
out.
heart monitor.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf is impossible to figure out. I don't even know who their running back is at this
It's
point.
Chris Carson still, isn't it?
Yep.
Until he gets hurt.
So he definitely has to be on his way down.
Right.
Considering you use the word "still" to describe it. And their defense just like disappeared last year, and everybody was like, "Wait, who's this?"
I was gonna say they blew up the defense that won them the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and it just hasn't been the same. Which will happen.
Well,
but,
I
like,
mean,
Well, you would
I mean-
think that a team that built a Super Bowl championship defense,
especially one to that caliber.
you would think they would be able to retool that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think part of the problem there was a lot of that defense was like anchored by the secondary. One of them retired. one of them just straight up left. The other one flipped him the bird, getting carted off the field.
Well, once Richard Sherman left was when it started to fall apart.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean,
everything
Then
just
then
kind of
Earl-
blew up after that.
then
Cam
Earl-
Chancellor retired.
And Earl Thomas got hurt and flipped him the bird, riding off the cart because he snapped his leg.
Yep.
Went and signed with the Ravens.
they just spiraled.
I think
painful
Eric
loss.
Weddle was the no Eric Weddle was a Ravens guy for a long time. I can't remember what the other corner was.
There,
Cause I don't think Aqib Talib was in Seattle at that point.
no, Aqib Talib was with the Broncos when they were in their heyday.
I remember he played with the Patriots for a couple.
You mean that
years.
1 year where they had Peyton?
I don't
They
think about
they
this,
for
guys.
2
I was
or
thinking
3.
about this the other day. Do you guys remember Peyton Manning playing for the Colts?
Yeah,
Because I don't.
I
don't remember watching football and
No.
Peyton Manning
I
playing
remember.
for
I
the Colts.
remember the Super Bowl. I remember the Super Bowl.
So like when I see like old videos of him in Colts stuff, I'm like,
I don't know.
Hold up.
I don't know if it's watching him play for the Colts or more of seeing him in video games when he wasn't Colt.
okay, that
Yeah.
makes, okay, all right.
Because that's just where I always knew him from.
The first time, I'll never forget this. The first time I ever heard of Peyton Manning, was the year he had his neck injury. We were at my grandma's house in Bellevue, which is like an hour and 10 minutes from where we live, and my dad and I were talking about it. And I was younger, I didn't know what it meant, but like, that was a pretty serious injury. Like, he fairly easily could have never played football again. So yeah, I just remember hearing that, and then he went to the Broncos, and the Broncos. Everyone in middle school was a Broncos bandwagon. Like,
Yeah. And it worked, and he retired, and the Broncos were bad.
pretty much.
I mean, yeah.
They haven't had a stable QB since then.
Nope.
They picked up Drew Lock.
They have the man, the myth, the legend, Teddy Bridgewater. Thank you very much. That was just uncalled for.
Despite how true that is.
Teddy Bridgewater's playing very good football. And
It is, and I'll give that to
I've
him.
stuck by his side for years.
We'll see if he
Bridgewater's
becomes
my
their
guy.
franchise guy, you know? Like,
There's
I don't know.
no reason.
I mean, he's got this year, or next year on his deal.
Yeah.
right.
I do think they dropped the QB either this year. It's coming.
I think
after
that
the
Drew
following.
Lock might be out. Drew Lock's probably done. And then,
He's probably done in the NFL if he can't make it with the Broncos or
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater.
The Jets will pick him up. Be like, pack us up.
is Joe Flacco still their backup?
Joe Flacco's, I think, with the Eagles.
Yeah, that's right. My
Yeah.
bad. Yep. I knew that.
I was gonna say, I'm
Definitely not getting that job.
if
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
correctly, it's Hurts, Flacco, and Gardner Minshew in Philly.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot they
I think the
traded for him,
Steelers
yeah.
should trade for Gardner Minshew.
The Steelers.
I've heard rumors.
I've crapped on Cam Newton so much in this podcast, but
The Steelers,
Like,
could even send him.
why not? You know, I don't know. Maybe that's just like the nerd in me, like trying to say, oh, that would be kind of cool to watch him play. But No.
Well, because instead of throwing for 5 yards every play, you're running for 5 yards every play.
yeah, pretty much. So you finally accepted that all he was there to do was run.
Well, he's not on my team anymore, so I don't have to deny it now.
Going back
Fake
on
fan.
the
Fake fan.
Vikings.
He's not on my team anymore. How's that being a fake fan?
Because when he was on your team, you defended him profusely, even when.
Because he was on my team. Why would I not defend my team profusely?
Because you're allowed to be realistic.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
But he's also not realistic, so that's okay.
Yeah, but he's going the wrong direction.
That's also true.
You set your expectations for Cam Newton in the sky, and they ended up in like a gold.
That's
mine in
because I
Colorado.
had faith in the poor guy, okay? I had
He's
faith.
old.
There's a difference between having faith and blind faith.
Alright,
Yeah, there's the difference between faith
Hey,
and
that's
being-
enough.
Sometimes,
Bat
sometimes
crap
blind
crazy.
faith can lead you to the promised land. You never know.
No, I don't know because I'm a
No,
freaking
it leads you into
Cleveland
a
Browns
gas
fan.
chamber.
Isaac, what were you saying?
going back on the Vikings, their losses are to the Bengals and the Cardinals.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that
I
up.
mean, the Cardinals are playing great football.
Well, the loss to
Kyler
the
Murray's a stud.
their loss to the Cardinals was a missed kick, and their loss to the Bengals was on a kick.
An L is an L, whether you... It doesn't matter
Right.
how you look at it.
Yeah.
But
The Viking kicking situation's been an L for like years.
just since Isaac brought it up, Kyler Murray, another MVP candidate.
It's another 3-0 team.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
stud. I'll be
But
honest.
theirs is deserved.
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily a Kyler Murray believer when he came into the NFL, I guess.
Do you work as a fantasy football?
Yeah, I drafted
Yeah.
him last year at fantasy football, and he was great. And now he's putting up enhanced numbers on what he did. His throwing mechanics are so weird.
Yeah.
But, like, it gets the job done, so I can't really,
Yeah.
like,
Because
critique
his
him for it.
arms are like this long.
Right. Like, he
Yeah.
literally has to, like, jump and, like, twist and throw. It's the weirdest thing ever.
I
But
would have been nuts to watch him play center field and try to do the same.
I guess, like, in the words of Kanye, I guess we'll never know.
I wanted to make that reference earlier and just never got that far.
Fair enough.
Well, since we're still on the topic of football, I do kind of want to transition to the Jaguars. Just for a second.
Okay.
Just for a second.
Jaguars.
Jaguars. Jaguar.
I was gonna say.
Jaguar.
I was gonna
Jaguar.
say.
Jaguar.
I do.
Whatever.
I do
you
want to
know
go
what I'm
back
talking
to
about.
our
That crappy
to our,
team in Jacksonville, Florida.
I do want to go back to our other 3-0 team after Jacksonville. Go ahead.
No, let's finish out 3-0 actually.
The Raiders 3-0. Two of them have been overtime wins though.
I
still
don't know.
have faith in that yet.
Not yet.
No.
It seems like the Raiders start hot every year.
Raiders
Derek Carr's
Chargers
playing
Monday
great
night.
though.
He is.
He's
Derek
off to a
Carr's-
great
But
start.
he did this exact same thing
Second
last year.
half car. Second half car.
Second half of the season or second half of the game?
Yes. No. Second half of
Those
the
are not
game.
the same people.
Second half of the game for sure.
Second half of the season.
The second half of the
takes
season.
them to a high pick this year.
And they still botched it. Classic John Gruden.
We'll see if they
That's 'cause
stick
John
around.
Gruden looks like he should be doing comedy skits, not
Yeah.
playbooks.
That's the Raider way.
Could have said it better myself.
Unfortunately, yes, that was right.
Somehow Isaac's been right multiple times over tonight's recordings, so he's got that going for him. Actually, twice in this episode.
Yeah.
What a guy.
The world must just be ending, folks.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess let's go to the Jaguars. I mean, I don't even really know what to say.
Well,
I just
Urban
wanted to bring
Meyer.
it up because I know there's stuff to talk about.
Urban
but-
Meyer's worst season ever.
Yeah.
Urban
Already 4
Meyer.
games deep.
I mean, he is. This is
And-
a completely different animal. The
Yeah.
NFL is.
Oh, I mean, yeah. That's always
About to
how it
say,
goes.
this is Urban Meyer's first 4-0 start in his career.
I think
never-
I think we 0-4 there.
0-4.
He's definitely not 4-0.
He's been 4-0 plenty of times.
Yeah. 0-4.
Yeah.
There we go. And Lawrence, too.
Oh yeah, Trevor Lawrence lost his first ever regular season game since like middle school.
Yeah.
I saw a thing that said Trevor Lawrence has only lost in his life twice when leading by 10+ points. Both of those losses were to Joe Burrow.
Burrow.
Joe Burrow looks good.
Jamar
Burrow's good.
Chase, oh
He's
my
not
god.
fully healthy either.
Like, again, call me an idiot,
Could
but
you
like that wasn't a terrible pick.
Could you imagine
Like-
if the Bengals O-line was like completely solid?
Oh,
And
they would
Burrow's
be
knee
a top
was-
2 offense in the NFL.
I'm about to
I would
say,
argue.
Burrow's not
I don't know about
100%
that.
yet.
Call me
either.
crazy.
You're crazy.
I'd
I
say-
think the
I'd say
Rams
top
might
five.
have him
Top
beat.
10.
Between the Rams, Chiefs, and Buccaneers, there's no chance
The
that
Chiefs,
the
the Chiefs
Bengals
definitely
slide in
don't.
this
The
top
Chiefs,
two.
the Chiefs look like a horrible offense right now.
I was gonna say the
That
Chiefs
doesn't
aren't
mean
playing
they
well
are
right
a
now.
horrible offense. We all know what the Chiefs can be because we've seen it for the last few years, and none of their skill positions have changed.
How about top 5? I'll bump down to top 5.
I was gonna say I'd say top 5, top 10.
I
top
will-
five
you can argue top
offense.
five.
Because
Well,
their
I never-
passing attack is great.
Well, I've
As
I've
we've
always
seen.
thought
And Joe
that 'cause
Mixon's
of
played
their-
well, so
Yeah, Joe Mixon. Yeah,
Heaven
screw you,
forbid.
Joe Mixon. Anyway,
yes, guys.
Do we have anything else, or should we start overreaction?
I think we could start overreaction.
I'll add one thing to the Burrow. His knee isn't fully healthy either. He's only like
That's
at
a good point.
80 or 90%.
He's not wrong.
Okay, for sure though.
Wait, what's happening? This is the third time.
On a real note, the Bengals seriously do need to pick a tackle in the first round of the draft this year.
They're
Maybe
one or
just trade for
two.
one.
They're 1 or 2 pieces away on the offensive line for being dangerous.
I think they should try to coax David DeCastro out of retirement.
Or just pick a young guy that's with a much higher upside that's going to be way cheaper.
Yeah.
They could do that
well,
too.
I mean, yeah, but gotta have. Sometimes you have to have bridge guys who can do the job for like a year or two.
The guys they have in there are the bridge guys.
I was going to journeyman
Yeah,
lineman
but those
is a terrible
should be
idea.
the
Yeah.
bridge guys.
You don't want journeyman linemen
Oh
on your
yeah,
team.
well yeah, but guys
The
like
thing
Mitchell
is-
Schwartz and David DeCastro who are
The
just kind
thing
of
is,
out there
Brady,
chilling for
you're
now.
looking at it with like such a small mindset. If you're like looking at this year and this year only, you can't do that when you have a professional sports team. The Bengals are not trying to win. They're like the Steelers. No,
They're not that.
Well,
I mean, the Bengals are 3-1 right now.
But they are not trying to win the Super Bowl this year.
Well, I know
Joe Burrow has plenty of time. Again, he's not even healthy
No.
yet. All of their receivers are really young.
They're young
They
and they're
don't have
studs.
their full offensive line
I'm about to
yet.
say.
Joe Mixon still has not been healthy for a full season. They're still working him into the offense.
I'm about to say. if Joe Mixon gets a line and Burrow,
and then he can actually stay healthy.
then Burrow's healthy, then you have your stud wide receivers.
Times are good in
that's
Cincinnati.
You
top-
gotta look at the long game.
That's
They are
top
not trying to win
3
right now.
or top 2
That's
offense in the league.
That's interesting with the Browns. Are the Browns trying to win right now? Or are they still a couple years down the line to let some pieces develop?
I wouldn't rule out trying to win right now.
Exactly.
Like, there's no reason why the
I
Browns
think-
aren't trying to win
I
right
think-
now.
Exactly.
I think they're in the middle.
The Browns
to
are
be
much more of a
completely
win right now
honest.
team, I would say, than any other team in the NFC North. Only because of injuries to J.K. Dobbins and company.
Exactly. There's
Yeah.
no reason that the Ravens don't just take a step back and relax for this year, draft a solid. I don't. think
Whatever
they'd
they
be at this
need,
point.
whatever it
They
may be.
might need a wide receiver.
They
I don't
need-
know.
Yeah,
if
get a
you
wide
trust Sammy
receiver.
Watkins. I don't know if you trust Hollywood.
Like I said, Hollywood forgot how to catch the ball, so they won't take a receiver.
I think the Ravens should take it back with their running backs.
Le'Veon Bell's their RB1 right now. Literally lucked into that.
Yeah,
job.
that's true. Yeah, you're not wrong. They'll trade for Marlon Mack soon. It'll be fine.
Probably. But the Ravens they're going to fight for that number 1 spot in our division.
Oh, yeah.
Just
There's no
because
reason
of
to
Lamar.
not to, I guess.
Lamar
Lamar's an athletic
seriously
enough
could win
quarterback.
MVP this year.
To me, the Steelers are the only ones who don't have an outside shot.
The Bengals don't have an outside shot.
The
With
Bengals
his
The
have
Bengals are not beating
Beng-
the Browns for the division.
no.
Nope.
I know that really hurts to
The
tell you that.
Bengals
Isaac.
have a small chance.
Stop talking. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
I don't know.
No, they don't.
Why are you so apt to rooting against the Browns? You're
Why
wearing
right
a
now?
Baker jersey. Why are you so
I'm
insistent
just
on
sta-
rooting against them?
I'm just stating the truth here.
You're telling me that Bengals offensive line can stop Clowney and Garrett.
And company.
Well, they don't have
Malik
to.
Jackson
necessarily-
And
looked great.
more.
Andrew Billings looked great. JOK looked great. Our secondary.
I mean,
Some
I
holes-
said
Their
there's a
pieces on the outside can't get used if Burrow's getting crushed every other
I was gonna
play.
say the Browns are gonna crush the Bengals every time they see them.
They don't have an
But
outside chance. They have no chance of winning the division. This year.
Not against the Browns, but they have a small chance against every other team.
Well, it doesn't matter to beat every other team because the Browns are the head of the division.
Well, yeah.
As of right now, yeah. Which is really fun as a Browns fan because, like,
You're
I'm
the
used
team
to being,
beat
like,
now.
here and, like, it's nice. I don't
I'm
know.
about to say,
It's not an
it's weird.
uphill. It's not
weird.
an uphill battle anymore.
Are
You guys are the team with the high ground.
Right.
I'm about to say our
Let's go around
schedule's
the
tough
kid.
this
We
year.
have the high ground. I don't have high ground anymore.
It's
But
not over.
you guys.
I was going to say, you're in the bottom of the lava. How's that feel, Brady? Suck on that.
They're
I'm-
not at the bottom.
I
They're
mean-
definitely not at the bottom.
Right. You guys are, like, an eighth of the inch off the bottom. I apologize.
You guys are above the Jets, Giants, and Jaguars for sure.
Mhm.
I mean, I should have
Yeah,
said.
you guys aren't even above the Texans right now. Let's be real. You're not.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
I
even with
put
the
us above
the
Texans.
Texans.
They
They're
could be.
even with the Texans, in my opinion.
I don't know.
I
Like
think
Mac-
there's a lot higher
Mac-
upside in the Patriots
I was
organization.
gonna say, Mac
than
Jones
the
can drive us
Texans,
down the field.
Yeah.
He just refuses to put it into the end zone. Anyway, I should have said that last year. Like, yes, I had some insanely high hopes for Cam Newton. But
Dog water.
thank you. I should have been more realistic and realized immediately that you're not gonna go from the greatest quarterback of all time to just continue to run it back.
The satisfaction
Repeat.
I am
Flip it right
feeling
here.
right now.
Flip it right
The
here,
satisfaction.
I'm gonna clip your vocal cords if you keep talking.
The satisfaction. It's
I
incredible.
know. I know.
It's incredible.
It's very long overdue, and I mean we're probably gonna start 1-3 after tomorrow. Well, we're probably gonna get obliterated by Tom Brady on Sunday Night Football. He's gonna break the career passing yards record in New England, which
Balanced as all things
I was
should.
gonna say it's
And
wild
beat
to me
the
that
final team he needs to beat every 32 teams.
that's also true.
Okay.
the final still.
Clayton's smiling ear to ear right now because he knows it's about a year and a half overdue.
I've been saying the same crap for 18 months, and you're finally agreeing with me. This feels awesome.
Oh, well, I'm sure it does. Well, but I mean, just my outlook on this year is, I know I told you Friday night. I'm just gonna wait till week 6 to decide what I want. I mean, obviously every fan wants their team to make the playoffs. every fan of every team is gonna have that hope at the start of the year.
Well,
That's
as
not
a Browns
true.
fan,
That's true.
that's not true.
Clayton, how's your basketball team supposed to be this year?
Exactly. We're not supposed to make the playoffs. Will
I'm-
we make the playoffs? Maybe. But-
Exactly.
Are you guys supposed to make the playoffs?
Our goal is to push for a play-in spot.
Exactly.
I
So
feel
we
like-
want to move
exactly.
from 13 to 10.
I feel
Right,
like the
exactly,
Cavs could push for one.
And there's my point. You said you maybe could. You
Push.
said push for the play-in. Every fan wants to see their team at least try to push.
Trust me, when the
everybody
Browns
wants
went
to
0
actually-
16, I had no hope.
That's not true.
There was no hope. Our focus was to win a game.
I was
We
telling-
had
Well, I mean,
no
at that
chance
po-
to
at
make
that
the
point,
playoffs.
yeah, that's-
we
that's
had no
different.
chance to do
I was
anything.
telling my team to tank last year, so that's not true.
I mean, you have to tell the Cardinals to tank for 4 years. So that's-
Exactly. So I'm not pushing. I was pushing for the playoffs. I was hoping we wouldn't make the playoffs middle of this season, so they would actually deconstruct the team.
I was hoping the Indians would hard sell at the trade deadline. I was,
Well, okay. But at the start of the year, you wanted the Indians to make postseason, right?
I wanted them to, yeah.
when they were fully
They-
healthy.
they-
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we all hope our NBA team will make the playoffs.
No, your team should be hoping to win a championship.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is-
but they won't because they
That's
suck.
true.
But that's a topic for another
It's not
podcast.
that they suck; it's that their ceiling is not NBA champions. Their
Well,
ceiling's not even.
if
conference
Donovan
champions.
Mitchell goes down, we're stuck. But that's
I
beyond.
promise
the
you,
point.
Donovan Mitchell going down wasn't the reason you didn't win last year.
Well,
Yep.
no, I know
No
that
way.
much. I know that much.
It's 'cause-
your other All-Star is a 4-point per game player and got
Yeah, I know.
absolutely mutilated on
Yeah.
the perimeter.
Yeah, I know. He can't defend the perimeter, but that's.
And they realized that, if we just go small ball, they can't compete with us because we'll make twos and threes, and they'll either only make twos through him, even though he still won't post up against a smaller defender, and then Donovan Mitchell has to do all the work.
Yeah. Well, I'm more of that. Anyway, different topic, different episode.
I can't wait for another NBA episode.
It's going to be so much fun to crap on you through the
Preseason
entire
starting.
season yet again. It's going to be great.
I've got like 4 different topics for NBA episodes. I'm ready, man. We can start them anytime.
To circle back to the NFL, though, Brady, continue with your crappy playoffs argument.
I'm,
I don't remember what the argument was.
He was trying to
The-
say
the-
every
the-
fan wants their team to make the playoffs every
I'm,
year.
it wasn't even an argument. It was like a lot of teams.
It was a Patriots fan statement is what it was. That's a great description for that, actually.
It's just a
Oh,
real
oh.
struggle being used to winning, Brady.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you just have to come back down to earth.
Yep.
Oh, and that's
Come back to the
that's what-
basement.
what
That's
I'm
where
doing.
Isaac and I have been literally our entire football
But you
watching
didn't really
lives.
come back down to earth, because that usually
Until
involves
now.
like a parachute. Yours was like the rocket flipped back over, but the engine was still going. Just drove you through
I
into
was
the core.
I was the spaceship that exploded. Can't remember which Apollo that
Oh, no,
was.
yours? You don't. It was Challenger, first of all.
Oh,
Second of all.
sorry. Thank you.
Yours
Needed that.
completely turned over. Didn't even slow it at the top.
It just flipped around.
Yeah, but I mean,
Because the part that was holding it down, some dude named Tom,
yeah.
it just really messed up the whole balance of it.
I mean,
But everybody was like, "Oh, but we've got this really good coach to keep us balanced." And then everybody realized, "Oh no, it is the quarterback."
yeah. Anyway,
This whole crapping on the Patriots thing is so much fun. I enjoy it. It's great.
well, you're just enjoying it even more because the Patriots fan the one who initiated it. Anyway, I mean, yeah, picking at 15 to get Mac Jones. Well, that was
Instead of Justin Fields, let's remind the viewers of that.
I'm not gonna decide which one's better yet because I haven't seen either of them perform well. The only rookie quarterback that has actually performed well is Trey Lance, and that's because in one game he had 1 snap and 1 touchdown.
Yep.
No, he had 2 snaps and 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 passing.
Other than that, yeah, Zach Wilson hasn't had a lot of help.
I don't even think he touched the second snap. He was in there for a trick play snap at one point. He did that. The snap went directly to somebody. It didn't even go to him.
One way or the other, he has 2 touchdowns
Oh,
this year,
yeah.
and he's only taken like 5 snaps.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Trey Lance
I
is
mean,
the
the
only one
production there.
Exactly.
I
See,
mean, statistically speaking,
that's what I'm saying.
Efficiency
If you-
1000
advanced
from Trey
stats,
Lance.
Love him. It doesn't mean anything.
no.
I'm joking, guys. Don't worry.
Well, no. I'm at the point where I don't want to be a middle of the road pick because we're trying to compete. I would much rather tank now, get a good defensive player.
But you
There you
signed
go.
all these elite tight ends.
I knew you were gonna say it.
Yeah, hey,
Bill-
Brady.
Bill wanted to bring our offense up to existing point, and it hasn't happened.
Hey Brady. Hey Brady.
Dude, what do you want?
How many of them are hurt? Just out of curiosity.
Actually, they're both healthy right now.
No.
Oh, that's even better.
One's injured.
No, there's two. They're both healthy right now. How would you know? You don't even know who's on half of your team anyway. Actually, that was the NBA episode, but that's okay.
Poor tight ends. I had to say it again. It brings me so much joy. It brings me so much joy to listen to you actually listen to what I've been telling you since you guys signed Cam.
Because
Newton.
I wanted to word it differently, but that was just
It
came out,
feels
and now it's
so good. Oh,
Amir.
Brady, the satisfaction I am feeling right now, it cannot be topped. Quite simply, you're finally
I don't think you
listening
realize I'm
to
not
every
listening.
single argument
Oh, you're
that I've been
listening.
saying on this podcast. It's awesome.
Dude, you thought the Browns were going to be 16th. Why are you laughing?
You thought Cam Newton was going to be good. You're on his level right now.
Dude, he
You thought-
sucks Freddie Kitchens. Never.
No, Alex, his was last year. His was this year.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Theirs was on false hope. His was on a team that was already good and got better, and then said they were going to get worse. His is definitely worse than his.
All right,
For those
I'll
who,
buy
For
that.
those who can't see it, Isaac's is definitely worse than Brady's. There we
I'll
go.
buy that. Okay. That doesn't take away the fact that Brady's finally listening to us. Finally.
I'm
He's still around.
I'm not even listening to you. This is my own personal thinking.
He'll listen
Which
to
is
it when
exactly
he
what we've
edits
been
it.
saying.
Same thing.
It's
So finally gonna go back to overreaction. We played this back in April, which is actually 6 months ago now because it's October.
I'm surprised that a sports management major like you could do that good at math.
Well, I expected to play overreaction more than twice in a 6 month span. Oh, hush up. But I mean, last time we did it was MLB, and now here we are, NFL season, overreaction, and I'm gonna drop the big question out of the way. Overreaction. The Chiefs, who started at 1-2, almost 0-3, they should be in panic mode if they lose at least 2 of their next 3.
It's not an overreaction. Not with how good the Chargers' ceiling is.
Well, yeah, any team that starts out 2-5 after going to the Super Bowl is probably going to panic a little. That makes sense.
Well, yeah, but
They're literally at the
No,
bottom
but
of their
like-
division.
If you say, should they be panicking now? No.
If they lose
They're
again,
fine. But losing 2 out of their next 3 puts them at 2-5. Yeah, that's horrible. That's already the games that they've lost in like the last 2 seasons combined. Yes, that would be time to panic.
yeah.
That's an easy one. It's should they be panicking now? Which I think is no. They're fine. It's
Not
gonna
yet.
fall into place. Like, this is a young offensive line, and their defense has never been all that stellar. They just depended on
In
Patrick Mahomes enough.
their next 2 out of 3 games are the Eagles, the Bills, and the Washington football team.
And 2 out of the 3 are difficult opponents. So.
right?
Like I said, Washington's defense shows up like it did last year, but they haven't really shown up this year.
And then the week
They
after,
were good last
That
year.
was the biggest overreaction of the offseason, that Washington was going to have one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
Which was
yeah.
bull crap.
and then the week after they play the Titans.
That's another tough one, too.
Oh, yeah. That'll be interesting to see. Overreaction. Justin Fields getting sacked 9 times was due to Matt Nagy's play calling and not the Bears O-line.
That's an
It's the
overreaction
O-line.
to a certain
Did you watch
extent.
any film?
I've watched film and I've listened to a lot of people talk about it. How Matt Nagy, there's a conspiracy now that Matt Nagy was intentionally setting up Justin Fields to show that Andy Dalton should be the starter. That Justin Fields not ready.
No.
To be completely
Come on,
honest,
Andy Dalton wouldn't have gotten out of the pocket to try and help himself. Justin Fields had no choice but to take sacks in half of those. No, more than half of those. Most of those.
yeah.
He had no help.
And people said Myles Garrett teleported because he's so fast.
Yeah, I saw that video.
That's just a glitch in
No,
film,
yeah,
I
no,
think.
When
That's
those
a glitch.
when those dudes are literally walking past offensive linemen and getting into Justin Fields' face before a wide receiver has even broken out of his route, that's not his fault.
Oh, yeah.
Any casual fan or somebody who's just looking at stats would think that Justin Fields had a horrible week and he's not going to be the Bears' quarterback. But if you actually watch the game, none of it was his fault.
He had no help.
He was doing his best.
He had zero help.
Trevor Lawrence isn't a franchise QB. He's fine. He's a rookie in the NFL.
On a crappy team. They got the number 1 pick for a reason.
This just shows everybody how college and NFL are completely different breeds.
Yep.
Joe Burrow, not great his rookie year. Justin Fields, not great so far his rookie year. Trevor Lawrence, not great so far his rookie year. All these guys that dominated college effortlessly. That's why, back to what did you say, like 2 episodes ago, that it's bullcrap that people say that, oh, this Alabama team could beat the 0-16 Lions. Not a chance.
No way.
NFL is a different breed.
I've sold that too. There's no way.
There's no way.
I saw people on Instagram today talking about that.
There's
if
no way.
Alabama was playing Jacksonville, what do you think the money line would be? I'm betting Jacksonville. Bet my house on Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I'll bet my life on Jacksonville.
Okay, settle down there. But
Still, Jacksonville's going to destroy any college team.
oh, for sure. Those are grown men. Grown men.
Versus 19-year-old boys.
Right.
Oh, yeah. That should be overreaction of the century that a college team would beat the NFL team.
Yep. Anyone who thinks that, overreaction.
Overreaction. The Raiders will actually not choke it away this year.
I don't have any faith in the Raiders.
I mean, I guess you could call that an overreaction. I guess, just historically speaking. But I mean, there's no reason why they can't, but I'm going to call that an overreaction.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I had another one. I didn't write them down this time. I was just... Oh, here we go. Overreaction. The Vikings will be a wild card team in the playoffs.
It's not an overreaction.
Under.
I'll see why
If
not.
Kirk Cousins continues to play well and Dalvin Cook stays healthy, they have a great wide receiver duo.
Gets healthy.
Yeah.
He was out last week, right?
Yeah.
He's going to
He's
playing
supposed to be
tomorrow.
Supposed to be.
He is playing tomorrow, barring any pregame stuff, is what I saw a little bit ago. But yeah, there's no reason they couldn't get the wild card.
I mean, Justin Jefferson's only going up.
Yeah.
That should prolong Adam Thielen a little bit.
Yeah, people will be
Thielen's
focused on
a
him.
route runner.
I don't know. What's an NFL overreaction I can think of?
I mean, I
This
think
isn't-
the overreaction was that the Browns would be ranked 16.
Anyways, that was a long time ago. Next.
Over or under. A
We're not-
rookie wide receiver will win Rookie of the Year.
So you're saying Jamar Chase will win Rookie of the Year?
No, I said any rookie
I mean,
wide
there's-
receiver.
So you're saying Jamar Chase will win Rookie of the Year?
I mean, there's
So
a chance of it. I mean, I can buy
I'll
it.
buy that.
Chase, Waddle,
I'll buy that.
Smith. The quarterbacks aren't playing well.
That's
who's
true.
gonna win
They
it?
definitely have a better chance of winning it for sure.
Yeah.
Over any of the rookie QBs right now, yeah. Other
I
than
can't
Najee
even-
Harris,
And I was gonna say,
it's wide
the only
receivers.
running backs I can think of are Najee, and Trey has at least a touchdown, but I mean, he's not like he's a big contributor to that
No.
offense.
Right.
Not yet. The 49ers running backs will tear their ACLs eventually, like they do every year.
True. Does anyone have any last minute thoughts? I like the Chargers. I've said that since the beginning of the year. Mike Williams is finally having a breakout year. That's something I wanted to bring up.
Yep.
We've been waiting for it. I think it's here.
I think the Chargers and Cardinals are my two favorite dark horse teams this year.
I like the Chargers, man. I like Justin Herbert. I like their wide receiver 1 and 2s. I like Austin
Herbert's a
Eckler.
sneaky
I was
MVP.
I was against Herbert a lot coming into the league. I didn't have a lot of faith in him. And then
He
he
proved
got
the
his
haters
play.
wrong.
Yeah, he proved me wrong. I was on his train by the end of it.
I would be going thank you to that doctor.
Yeah. Sending him a Christmas card every year.
Poor
He's
Tyrod
gonna need it.
Taylor.
He doesn't have a job right now, I guarantee that.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the things about how Justin Herbert hates Patrick Mahomes?
No, why?
Good.
Oh well, so there, Patrick
You're
Mahomes.
good.
Patrick Mahomes was at some like golf thing, and some fan was like, "Hey, how about Justin Herbert gonna beat you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'll believe it when I see it."
I mean,
Then after the Chargers beat the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes was like calling Justin. He's like, Justin, Dad, Justin. Had to walk over and like grab his shoulders, and Justin's like, "Oh hi," and he was like 2 feet away from him. Like he has to have heard him. Like he was just ignoring Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know. I bet there was a lot going through Justin Herbert's head when you just beat Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, I'm sure there was.
Yeah, when the Chargers and company.
I'm about to say.
Oh, another player, secret, low-key playing well that I guess we never hear about because we're on the East Coast, but Joey Bosa.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Another Ohio State product out there playing well.
And
Just wanted to throw that out
and
there.
you would think we'd hear more about him just because he's from Ohio State.
Right, but like you never hear anything about Joey Bosa, but he's
No.
a great
Well, he's been
defensive end.
overshadowed by his brother.
Yeah, Nick Bosa's a
Easily.
tank. But I like the Chargers. I'll sell the If I'm not going to sell for the Browns, which I am, honestly, I'm going to sell for the Chargers strictly because of how well Mike Williams is playing right now.
And Herbert.
Justin Herbert's playing good. Austin Eckler, he's staying. As long as he can stay healthy, I think they'll be fine.
Yep. Their defense is
Personally, I'd like
playing
to see him
well.
get more involved in the passing game, but that's strictly fantasy based. So.
Right. Mike Williams he's tearing it up, man.
He offered me Travis Kelce for Austin Eckler the other day.
He did at the football game.
I refused to take it
Yeah.
though, just because I like Austin Eckler.
He's also offered me Travis Kelce and a different receiver.
Do you hate Travis Kelce or something? Because
For
the first
Cooper
year we
Kupp.
did
If I
fantasy
get
football
Cooper
together.
Kupp for Kelsey,
Kelsey's going to give you wide receiver 1 numbers in your tight end spot every single time.
You have to remember who you're talking to.
Yeah, that's true.
and Cooper Kupp's getting over
The-
30 fantasy points a week.
You really think that's sustainable? Travis Kelce is sustainable.
If not, he should only be getting better.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is going to get...
His ceiling is still to come. He's still on an upward trend.
Yeah.
He's still somewhat young. He's like, what, 25?
Yeah.
But he's going to start relying more on his
Tight end.
top 2 targets, which are going to be Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill needs to get more involved in their offense as
I
he
was going to
is.
say, Tyreek Hill struggled the last couple of weeks.
They're not going to be running the ball at all because they're terrified to hand it to CEH.
That's big fact.
Valid. Yeah.
That could be a team who trades for Marlon Mack.
He looked like he was going to be on a huge upward trend last year, and this year's just struggled so bad. Ronald Jones is the same way. He looked like he was going to have a great year this year, and then had fumbles and missed assignments, and all of a sudden he's like running back 3.
Could you imagine if the Chiefs still had Kareem Hunt, though?
This concludes Hot Take Sports episode 30. A lot of college football and NFL football talk. Make sure that you follow us on all social medias at Hot Take Sports 16 and check out our merch on our website at hottakesports.online. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.